tell you what, if Howie Roseman gets DeVonta Smith in this draft, he's going to look like a genius. 18th pick in the NFL draft.
Hey, make us lunch. We're hungry.
Dallas still stinks. You're by the way, King Dingbat here, and I hope everybody's having a great day. I hope you guys are doing well. So it is the day after the big trade back to number 12 for the Eagles. And, I was doing some Philly Reacts videos. I wasn't even going to do a video talking about this, but it was just on my mind all day. I was doing some Philly Reacts videos, and I'll be editing and putting them out very soon. But, I kept thinking about this trade. And, I think... I personally probably would not have traded the 6th pick. I would have stayed there, took the generational talent. However, I'm not going to get super pissed about what the Eagles are doing because I understand it. I understand what they're trying to do. You're getting more picks for this year, for next year as well. I mean, next year's draft, you could have 3 first-round picks. That is going to be one important draft. I mean, even more important than this draft. These 2 drafts are going to rebuild this team. So I understand what the Eagles are doing, okay? And I hear a lot of people talking about, oh, well, now that we're picking at 12, we obviously need to go defense. We need to focus on going defense. We need to focus that route instead of offense. And I'm thinking to myself, no. Wait. The strategy does not change. The strategy of what you were going to pick at 6 and what you pick at 12 and do does not change. The strategy is simple. You take the best player available. You take the best player on the board at the time. I don't care if he's offense. I don't care if he's defense. Whoever's rated your highest player on the board, you take. And the reason you do this is because you do not have the luxury to pick based upon needs. This team is not in it trying to win a Super Bowl next year. They're trying to rebuild over the next few years. That's what that trade back showed us yesterday, okay? So you're not trying to get a guy that fills a hole next year. You're trying to get a guy that you can build with for the next 5-6 years. So you take the best player available. Now, who's that best player going to be? That's the question. At 12, if you drafted a guy like Parsons, a guy like Waddle, a guy like Surtain, a guy like J.C. Horn, I don't think anybody's going to give you a hard time. I think they're going to say, those are good picks. Those are right around where we think those guys were going to go. And it'll be a good pick. But if you really want to look like a genius, if Howie Roseman really wants to look like a genius and get people really to think, hey, maybe he knows a little bit of what he's doing, you got to land 2 guys. There's 2 guys that you got to land. One of them is DeVonta Smith. If the Eagles land DeVonta Smith at 12, Howie Roseman looks like an absolute genius. And I say this because when I look at the board and I look how these things are going to fall, DeVonta Smith, if he's at 12, will be my best player on the board. By far. I will run that ticket to that podium and turn it in, DeVonta Smith. Because if you guys know me, you've been watching my stuff, when I talk about the 6th pick, I always say there's 4 guys I'm drafting at 6. Penny Sewell, Kyle Pitts, Chase, or Smith. If Smith falls at 12, and a lot of people think that this could happen, I gotta do it. I've got to take him. That would be a no-brainer for me because I love DeVonta Smith. I think he's a stud. I know people worry about him being too light, but I think he's going to be fine. I think he's going to be a stud in this league. If DeVonta Smith falls at 12, I'm taking him, okay? Now, the other thing that I'm going to do to look like a genius, and this only happens if you get a little lucky as well. If Kyle Pitts falls to 8, if he falls to 8 or 9, which I don't think is likely, but if he falls to 8 or 9, ain't no way in hell I'm letting Dallas or the Giants get him. I am then trading up to 8 or 9, and I am taking Kyle Pitts. If Howie Roseman was somehow able to trade up to like 8 or 9 and draft Kyle Pitts anyways, he looks like a genius. Because to go up from 12 to 8 is only going to, from what I've been reading, is only going to cost you about a 3rd round pick. Maybe a 3rd round pick, maybe a pick next year. It's not going to cost you a 1st, probably not even going to cost you a 2nd. Cost you about a 3rd. So if you have that opportunity and you have 2 third-round picks this year, we have 2 thirds. Do it. You do it. You know what I mean? Maybe he gets up, to like 8, right? Now, we got to get lucky, right? You figure 3 to 4 quarterbacks go first 4 picks, right? Then you figure at 5, Penny Sewell goes to Cincinnati. Miami at that point, I think they're going to take Kyle Pitts there. I think that's where my Kyle Pitts dream ends at 6. I think Miami takes him. But if they somehow take Jamar Chase, okay, and then you have the Detroit Lions, which I don't know what they're going to do. They very well could take Kyle Pitts right there. But if they don't and you get to 8, you got to try to get up at that point. You have to become active. You got to get on the phone. You got to try to get up and get him. You got to try. And I know people are saying, Philly, you love Kyle Pitts. And I do. I love him. I love the guy. I love him. Okay? So, yes, if I have the opportunity, I would do it. Now, I don't think it's likely. I don't think this is likely. But if he got to 8 or 9, you do it. Maybe you trade a third. Maybe you throw Zach Ertz into Carolina and you go up and you get him. That's an option. Now, if he's taken, which I think he will, early, and let's say he goes to Miami, then Detroit picks who they're going to pick. I don't know what Carolina and Denver is going to pick. I don't think they're going to take wide receivers, though. Okay, I don't think Dallas takes a wide receiver. Then at 11, the Giants is the great unknown. The Giants could go anywhere in this draft. They could go Parsons. They could go receiver. They could go offensive line. I think the Giants are just going to take the best player that they like, okay? Because they've done a lot of things in free agency. So they could go any way. But if they skip 11 and they take, they take offensive linemen, let's say, and DeVonta Smith at 12, you take them. You take them. If that happens, Howie Roseman's going to look like a genius. I'm telling you, that's the pick. DeVonta Smith falls to 12. He's the pick. Kyle Pitts falls to 8 or 9. You trade up. And if you don't trade up, I think you're going to regret it. But I'm not letting Kyle Pitts go to Dallas or the Giants. I don't care. I am going to do something about that. Okay. However, he's probably going to go to 6. But if one of those two things happen, where you get DeVonta Smith at 12 or Pitts falls like 8 or 9 and you trade up and get him, you're going to look like a genius out of this whole thing. So those are the two things those are the two things on my dream list. Okay. The realistic one is DeVonta Smith. Looks like he could fall to 12. If he falls to 12, I take him. And, look, and if he's gone, let's say Pitts goes, let's say DeVonta Smith goes, let's say the Giants take DeVonta Smith, right? So what do we do now? Well, at that point, I think the next guy you have to take is probably Parsons. At that point, I would go Parsons, or I would probably go Waddle or Horn. It would be one of those 3. Surtain, I don't think he'll be there, but if he's there, you could go him. I do have Horn rated higher than Surtain. So, to me, it would be Parsons, Horn, or Waddle. And probably Parsons, even though I know the Eagles do not draft linebackers in the first round. They do not do it. I think Parsons, you'd have to do it because he very well could be the best defensive player in this draft. So you can't pass that up at that point. So if it's me, my dream case scenario is this. DeVonta Smith at 12, that would be a dream. Kyle Pitts falls at 8 or 9, you trade up, you get him. Those are my 2 dream scenarios going into this draft. Those are the 2 scenarios in which I think Howie Roseman looks like an absolute genius. If I can't get either one of those 2 guys, I probably next would go Parsons, Horn, or Waddle. Or Parsons, Waddle, Horn. It'd be something like that. I'm still debating which one. We'll see. There's also Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. He's still my favorite linebacker. Although, Parsons really just blew it away at his pro day. So he's a guy I don't think you would take at 12. But if you want to trade back, get more picks, and then take him, I'd be okay with that too. At this point at 12, I'm open to almost anything, But dream scenario, Pitts falls to 8 or 9. That would be great. DeVonta Smith falls to 12. I think there's a chance that I would say DeVonta Smith falling to 12 is about 50-50 right now. So I think it's 50-50. We have a shot. And if we can get DeVonta Smith, I'm telling you, we are going to look like geniuses, because I would have took Smith at 6. I'd had no problem taking him at 6 at all. So if that happens, I'm good with it. And we're going to see. We're going to see if this was worth it. But really, it's going to depend on what the Eagles do. Who do they draft, you know? And then going into next year, you have possibly 3 first-round picks. I'm going to root for whoever's playing Miami like it's the Dallas Cowboys. You know what I mean? Like Miami's the Dallas Cowboys. If they could just have a stinky year and we get a really high pick, it'd be amazing. Let me take this quick second, too. I want to give a huge shout-out to Jay Koch. He's a very loyal subscriber, channel member. I understand that, I missed some of your comments yesterday. I did not see them. I just wanted to take a second to apologize to you, tell you I love you, you're the man, and I appreciate it. And if you could contact me, that would be great. With that said, take care, talk to you later, and don't be a dingbat.